Mama is 59 years old and she spent all of those in captivity. As she was getting ready to pass away, one of her old friends paid her a visit just before she went. To tell you that she was overflowing with joy would be an overstatement. Mama smiled from ear to ear and started rubbing her old friend's white hair. They shared a few moments together. Mama hugged and kissed him on the head, and then the elderly gentleman left her to rest, probably forever. This German Shepherd was still a puppy when this owner went into service, but he didn't forget the lady at the doorstep. Sure, it took him a minute at first, but then he started kissing her and even bought a ball so he could play fetch. This man spent the last few months in hospital. When he came back home, the first friend he wanted to meet was his dog. The little guy recognized his voice, but then he started barking at the man. Why? Because the man went through an extreme weight loss journey and the dog barely recognized him.
Where you being, Daddy? Where you being?
Hey everyone, this is Aaron Morris. He lost his car and his dog, but can you guess which one he loved more? Well, he didn't get the car back, but he did get his beloved Jolene back. And just look how ecstatically she waggles her tail. Hey folks, this is Anita. She is a worker at the Polar Zoo and has been taking care of the wolves since 2008. It took her a long time to socialize with the wild animals, but she managed to do it. When she didn't show up at the zoo for about 2 months, this is how her longtime friends reacted. Casey is the pet you see squealing with joy and overflowing with happiness. Eventually, she got so excited that she started fainting right in front of the camera.
Is she okay, by the way?
About 3 years previous to this encounter, this female dog got lost. Even though she was put in a shelter, her owner didn't know where she was. But he never gave up. He kept looking and looking until one fateful day, he found his dog. Spending 3 years in a shelter, she didn't recognize the man at first. She was a little hesitant and whimpering, but as soon as she smelled him, she began doing this. This big and seemingly scary lion turned into a little kitten when she saw the man who saved her life a few years back. As soon as he opened the door, she leapt on him and kept licking him. This young boy loves big old Bogart. Sadly, they had to say goodbye about 1 year prior to this video. Why? Bogart is the neighbor's dog. Since they had to move states, the boy couldn't see his beloved friend anymore. His mother tells us that he spent the whole day crying after watching Bogart leave with his family. But about 1 year later, they both got the surprise of their lifetime.
Oh, he's laying down, Lennox.
Libani is a chimp who has been adopted by this couple. However, they hadn't seen each other in about 3 years. Now do you understand why he was jumping up and down like that? From 2014, this Marine spent 3 years of military service with Attila. The soldier formed a lasting bond with this specially trained tracker, but have not seen each other in years after his service ended. Eventually, Attila had to be retired. Being 9 years old, he was getting too old for military life. And when this Marine found out that his old buddy is up for adoption, he quickly jumped at the opportunity.
The way he reacted, the way he jumped on me like that, he knows who I am, so that's good.
This lion thought he was being released for some playtime, but his former owner stopped him dead in his tracks. The lion immediately stopped, looked at the man and rushed to give him a hug. It's hard to imagine a 400-pound lion behaving like a kitten. When Officer Webb Sistrunk got wounded by a bullet in his right shoulder, he had to spend a lot of time at the hospital trying to recover. His canine Leon couldn't bear to stay away from him, so they paid him a visit at the hospital. After saving this little monkey from starvation, the man realized that he can't take care of it, so he gave his buddy to the circus. Now, every year they get to smash that like button, just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, they get to see each other every time the circus comes to town.
Oh, dear God. Oh.
Well, look at him. He's kissing you.
This little dog went missing for about 19 months. Her family had no way of knowing where she was, but one mysterious man found her and brought her to the shelter. Well, 19 months later, she is finally reunited with her original family. Even though she didn't recognize them at first, all it took was one quick sniff and she remembered immediately. Dean Schneider has become a celebrity because he probably knows how to speak to lions. He currently lives in South Africa, and this is how his lions reacted when he showed up unannounced in front of them. The whole freaking pride came to say hi to Dean. Landon Sher hadn't seen his chimp friend for such a long time. When they finally did get to meet, this little guy immediately leaped in for a hug. After spending some time together, his chimp friend took him on a little adventure. Landon shared some lettuce with him and they both ate it. Then it was time for this guy's favourite treat, an orange. Landon peeled it for him and finally he got to munch on a fresh banana. Don't worry, this guy isn't greedy, he shared some with Landon. We knew we'd see some crazy animals here, but we didn't know that there would be a goose that missed his owner this much. Just look at how fast he ran while flapping his wings. He couldn't wait to hug the lady. This is the story of Damien and the pet gorilla by the name of Queeby. When Damien found Queeby, he was still a baby and he was helpless. Damien raised and loved him like one of his own children until Queeby grew old enough. Then it was time to let him go into the wilderness. Well, 5 years later, Damien visited Queeby, even though all of his friends advised him against it. The gorilla immediately recognized his old friend and even introduced him to all his wives. Queeby later latched onto Damien, hugged him from the behind and wouldn't let go. As night fell, Damien got to leave, but Queeby stayed all night on the spot where Damien used to sleep. And when he went into the river to freshen up, there was Queeby, wide awake and looking at Damien. Call us crazy, but we think there is something special when a camel wraps its head and neck around a person's body. It's like the ultimate hug. Female chimp, swing, young chimp named Sparky, and the 6-year-old doll. Linda Kobner saved these 3 chimps after the research team looking for a cure for hepatitis no longer needed them for testing. Linda saved them and took care of them until they were self-reliant. Linda then handed them over to the zoo. Several years later, she visited her old friends, and here's Swing's reaction to Linda's unexpected visit. Oh, but wait, Sparky came to hug his old friend, whom he hasn't seen in years. Well, I'll be damned. This is the first time we're seeing a cat get excited about his owner coming back from work. History books will write about this cat. He'll be right next to Grumpy Cat, for contrast. This small chimp wouldn't stop crying at the zoo. Why? Because he had just seen his old owner and he wanted to get her attention. After listening to his heartbreaking cries for too long, she went over to him and gave him a hug. Then she treated him to a piece of bread before finally moving away. This is Piper. Piper is a pug given to this little boy when his mother passed away. But Piper got lost. They looked everywhere but couldn't find their pug. Luckily, the mum retrieved the dog, and when she went to pick up her son, she brought Piper with her. Let's see the boy's reaction. What kind of pet is this man calling for? Oh my God! You mean to tell us this guy is best buddies with 4 elephants? The whole village is probably frightened from this man walking around with his 4 elephants by his side. See this little boy coming through the front door? Well, he's about to meet his long-lost buddy. As soon as he saw the dog, the boy fell to his knees, hugging and kissing his buddy while crying tears of joy. After the vacation, the first thing that this girl did was go to pay a visit to her good buddy. Just look at how fast she ran over to hug her owner. This man was on vacation for way too long, and when this little bunny saw him, well, let's see what the bunny did. Those are called bunny kisses. Cutest thing ever. Imagine this, your dog goes missing and after a grueling search, you find the little guy hiding away in a fox's nest. The man didn't let anyone touch him, not before he hugged him until his head turned blue. We don't know if this counts as a reunion, but this tiger just saved the zookeeper's life. When the leopard snuck up and tried to ambush the man, the tiger sensed his intentions and immediately leaped from the ground and attacked the leopard. There's a reason this dog loves the vet so much. It's not because of shots, but it's because the vet saved the dog's life after being seriously burned during a fire. The woman that this baby elephant is kissing is a person who took care of him at the zoo. Using elephant kisses, this little guy showed gratitude. Thanks for watching, guys.